You know that feeling, that pit in your stomach when you realize the math doesn't add up? I've been staring at the Vice City beach shot for 3 days straight. Not because I'm admiring the graphics, we know they're good. I'm staring at it because I'm trying to figure out how in the hell a PlayStation 5 is supposed to run this simulation without turning into a jet engine and taking off through my living room ceiling. Everyone on Twitter is screaming about 60 FPS and ray tracing, but they are missing the elephant in the room. They're arguing about graphics. I'm here to tell you that graphics aren't the problem. The problem is the brain inside the machine. I spent the last 48 hours digging through technical patents filed by Take-Two Interactive, lurking in the deepest trenches of Reddit, and cross-referencing engine analysis from the wizards at Digital Foundry. And what I found is both the most exciting and the most terrifying news for this game's release window. By the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why GTA 6 isn't just a graphical upgrade. It's a computational nightmare that is going to push current-gen consoles to their absolute breaking point. And yes, we need to have the talk about 30 FPS. Buckle up, we're diving into Rage 9. Let's start with the thing you're going to see 99% of the time, movement. In GTA 5, animations were rigid. You remember it, if you turned Michael around too fast, he did that weird little shuffle circle. It was pre-canned. The game just played a video file of a guy turning left. But I found a patent filed by a guy named Tobias Clanthis, a former lead AI and gameplay programmer at Rockstar. The patent is titled System and Method for Virtual Character Locomotion. That sounds boring, but read the fine print. This isn't motion capture, it's motion matching. Think of it like Lego bricks. Instead of having one long animation for walking while injured in the rain, the Rage 9 engine has thousands of tiny micro movements. A shoulder dip, a knee buckle, a head tilt. The patent describes a system where the AI analyzes the environment in real time. The rain, the slope of the sidewalk, the bullet wound in your left leg, the stamina level, and it builds a brand new animation frame by frame using these Lego bricks. I saw a thread on Reddit analyzing the leaked development footage, specifically the clip where Jason is crouching. The code logs literally showed the engine pulling tags like combat, crouch, left wide, and under fire. The game isn't just playing an animation, it's calculating physics for every joint in the body based on context. Now multiply that by the 500 NPCs we saw on the beach. This is why my PS5 is sweating. In GTA 5, distant NPCs were basically cardboard cutouts with simple pathfinding. In GTA 6, if this patent is fully implemented, every single NPC in your field of view is running a complex physics calculation just to walk down the street without tripping over a curb. It's CPU suicide. One of the biggest complaints about GTA 5 was the window dressing syndrome. Massive city, but you couldn't go inside 90% of the buildings. Well, I found another Take-Two patent that might solve this, but it raises a huge red flag for performance. The patent details a method for systemic generation of interiors. Here is the bro science explanation. Rockstar can't handcraft 50,000 hotel rooms. It would take 20 years. Instead, the patent suggests they are using tags. Let's say you walk into a random apartment in Vice Point. The game engine looks at the neighborhood tag, let's say it's rundown or ghetto. It then looks at the building type, residential high-rise. The AI then procedurally generates the interior furniture, dirt, trash, and loot instantly based on those tags. But here is the kicker. It uses a seed. Minecraft players, you know what I'm talking about. When the game generates that room, it assigns it a unique ID number, the seed. So if you leave, drive across the map, and come back 5 hours later, the room looks exactly the same. The trash is in the same spot. The TV is still broken. I was reading this breakdown by a user named NoDevelopment894 on Reddit, and they pointed out something crucial. They said if 70% of buildings are enterable, the memory budget for tracking these states is astronomical. Imagine you get into a shootout in a random hotel lobby. You shoot out the glass, knock over a plant, and leave a blood stain on the rug.
In most games, that cleanup crew comes in the second you look away. In Rage 9, that memory might persist. Your console's RAM isn't just loading textures anymore, it's remembering the crime scene you left 3 hours ago. We need to talk about the AI behavior, because this is where the melting part comes in. In Red Dead Redemption 2, the NPCs were smart. They had schedules, they ate, they slept, they worked. But the rumors coming out of the insider circles suggest GTA 6 is taking this to a psychotic level. The buzzword floating around the leaks is persistent awareness. There was a leak discussing how NPCs react to world states. In GTA 5, if you ran a red light, maybe a pedestrian screamed. In GTA 6, the rumors suggest that NPCs communicate. If you rob a store in Little Haiti, the shopkeeper in the next block might already be locking his doors because the alert state propagated down the street. We aren't just dealing with line-of-sight AI anymore, we're dealing with a hive mind. Think about the CPU cost of that. The CPU handles the logic, the GPU handles the pretty pictures. You can lower the resolution to save the GPU, you can use DLSS or PSSR to upscale the image, but you cannot upscale AI. You can't fake logic. The CPU either calculates it or it doesn't. And this leads me to the hard truth that nobody wants to hear. I need you to look me in the eye. GTA 6 is probably going to be 30 FPS on the PS5, and yes, probably on the PS5 Pro too. I watched the Digital Foundry breakdown of the PS5 Pro specs. Here's the tragedy. The PS5 Pro has a monster GPU. It's great for rendering ray tracing and 4K textures, but the CPU, it's the same processor as the base PS5, just clocked 10% higher. If GTA 6 is CPU-bound, which it will be because of the LEGO animation system, the persistent interiors, and the HiveMind AI, then a better graphics card doesn't matter. Think of it like a Ferrari stuck in gridlock traffic. It doesn't matter how fast the engine is if the road is clogged with 500 NPCs trying to decide if they should run or fight. I saw people on Twitter saying, "I'm not playing it if it's 30 FPS. Stop lying to yourself. Yes, you are. We played GTA 5 at 24 FPS on the PS3 and we loved it. We played Red Dead 2 at 30 FPS and called it a masterpiece. The trade-off Rockstar is making is clear. They're sacrificing frame rate for density. Would you rather have a 60 FPS ghost town or a 30 FPS living, breathing world where every NPC has a unique walking animation and remembers that you robbed their cousin yesterday? That is the choice. And knowing Rockstar, they choose world over performance every single time."
Look, honestly, this makes me nervous. I remember standing in line for GTA 5 at midnight. I was in high school. I skipped first period the next day to play it. It has been over a decade. We are all adults now. Some of you have kids, some of you have mortgages. We have been waiting for this game for a massive chunk of our lives. My fear isn't that the game will be bad. My fear is that our expectations have become impossible. We want 4K, we want 60 FPS, we want every building enterable, we want AI that passes the Turing test, but we are playing on hardware that costs $500. I'm looking at these patents and I see ambition. I see Rockstar trying to do things that shouldn't be possible on a console, and that ambition comes with a cost. If this game drops and it dips to 20 FPS during a shootout, the internet is going to tear it apart. But if they pull it off, if they actually make this Rage 9 engine work, it won't just be the game of the generation. It will be the game that kills the generation. But there is one more thing I found in the audio files, something that suggests the co-op mechanics between Lucia and Jason are way deeper than just switching characters. There is code referencing shared inventory and trust levels. If Jason trusts Lucia, his animations change. If he doesn't, he watches his back. I'm digging into the trust system code right now, and what I'm finding changes the entire story structure. I'm refreshing the newswire every 10 minutes so you don't have to. Sub if you want the notification the second the next trailer drops. Get your PS5s cleaned out, people. You're gonna need the airflow.